sure everything's okay. Alright, audio's good. What's going on, guys? Welcome to part 3 of the Madden 24 Seattle Seahawks rebuild. It's your boy, Maitland. And, I wasn't sure if I was going to do another video today, but, because I'm off work until really Thursday, because, normally Mondays and Tuesdays are my weekends, but I'm taking an extra day off on Wednesday. Just wanted an extra day, so I got a 3-day weekend this weekend, basically. And, getting ready to start up the 2025 season. Let's go ahead and take a look at our roster for year 3 of this rebuild. Now, one of the things that unfortunately I didn't do correctly is that I didn't get in the draft class. So a lot of these names are like not real players. Like this Timmy Knox guy, he's a fake player, rookie out of Maryland, but he was like our 7th round pick. Running back room, still the same. Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet still here. Corum's here for his 2nd season. Might be overtaking Charbonnet. I think we're going to let Charbonnet walk whenever his contract is up, and we're just going to let Corum take over. Horvath was one of our free agent signings. We were finally able to spend money in free agency this offseason after basically doing nothing the first offseason because we had no money. DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Chenault is still going to be here. We still have Hardy, and we have Sean Leslie, who we drafted as a rookie out of Miami, 69 overall, and we still have Young. So our receiving core is, loaded with some young talent as well. Adam Troutman is a new tight end that we signed to replace Disley, 76 overall, basically about the same. We still have Cade Stover. Hopefully he'll get more playing time this season, but I just want to maybe have one more year of him developing, maybe get up to the mid-70s before I maybe plug him in as a starter. Charles Cross, one of our best offensive linemen, 83 overall. We drafted Dwight Bowen as well for depth, and we still have Leviston. Bradford is still here, 75 overall. Drake Nugent, 75 center. We have Olawale. Sam Cosme was one of our big free agent signings. And look at this, 88 overall right guard. I probably overpaid for him. He's going to eat up a little bit of the cap for the next 4 years. But he was the best right guard. He's only 26 years old, very young, and we're going to have him for hopefully the next few years, how long ever it takes to finish this rebuild. We have Stone, and we have Sidney Bates, who we drafted out of Clemson. Right tackle, Lucas has actually gotten him to an 81, so I've been kind of impressed by that. Left end, Draymond Jones. Now, Jones actually had a little bit of a breakout year this past year. He was in the top 10 for best defensive lineman in the NFC in terms of rankings for the award. So he had a little bit of a breakout season. So I decided to, not do any upgrades here. We still have McGregor, but he's still stuck at a 67. We did sign Dietrich Weiss Jr. because we let Sweat walk. So our right end position is a little bit of a downgrade going into this season. Mike Morris is still here, young guy. And we did bring back Jaron Reed, but we also drafted Daniel Strong, was our 1st round pick, 72 overall, and we have Cameron Young still here. So defensive line it could be a little bit better, but I'll wait until maybe this next offseason or maybe the next offseason after that if this continues before we start spending big money on the defensive line. Because right now, we just got to wait until we got some more money to spend because we're not really in salary cap hell. But, I actually tried to take a plunge to go after Jared Goff in free agency this past offseason. And if we did that, we were going to eat up all of our cap space that we had available to sign anybody in the offseason. So I basically had to forget about that. Because without that we didn't have any money to sign the players that we needed to really fill up needs that we have. So Mayfield has actually gotten him to be an 80 overall left outside linebacker. So I've been pretty impressed by that. Derek Hall and Marcus Powell. Now Powell's the guy we drafted at Texas Tech, 65 overall. Middle linebacker. We did sign C.J. Mosley, and I don't expect him to be here for a long time. He's only on a 1-year deal anyway. But, we need him to help a middle linebacker. I feel like that in that playoff loss, our defense, we gave up we had a 13-point lead, and then again, the interception I threw with Geno Smith did change everything, and then he threw an interception late in the game. But at the same time, our defense, struggled at times last season, despite the fact that we went 10-7 and had a playoff season, but we just needed help. And we still have Radigan and we have Drake Thomas. These guys started a lot of games last season, but Bringing in Mosley is going to help our middle linebacking core. We need an anchor down there. Nwosu is still here at 80 overall right outside linebacker. We still have Nasruddin, and we have Coleman, who we drafted the season ago. Our secondary is probably the best part of our defense. We have an 88 corner in Woolen, and we have an 87 overall Devin Witherspoon. Nehemiah Pritchett is going to get more playing time this season. He's still at 69 overall. I want to see his overall get into the 70s this season. We also drafted Von Byram out of Syracuse. So we've got a lot of young corners here. Hopefully some of these guys can develop a little bit because who knows how much longer we're going to have Woolen and Witherspoon. And who knows? I mean, listen, a lot of these guys that are in the 80s, they're going to be asking for a hefty payday in order to stick around here. And I don't know how much more of the cap I want to sacrifice to these guys, if you know what I mean. We still have Quandre Diggs. We did give him a new contract. We still have Kobe Bryant. And we have Greg Hatcher, who we drafted out of USC. I don't know how much longer Bryant will be here. And maybe, you know, who knows. Diggs may be eating up too much of cap. Then maybe we have to look, you know, I'm just thinking about the future. One of our highest rated guys, 88 strong safety Jamal Adams, still here. I still don't think we need to make him a cap casualty or trade him because it's really hard to find another strong safety that's 88 to start out with. And we still have Okada backing him up. We still have Myers, one of the best kickers in the league, even though he's 72, but he's still pretty solid. We still have Dixon, who's 80 overall, as our punter. So our special teams remain intact. You know, our quarterback situation obviously could be a little bit better. Hopefully giving Drake May the chance to start this season over Geno Smith may help in his development, but he's still at a 75 entering his second season. There's a part of me that wants to make a trade for a quarterback, but I feel like we just simply do not have the funds. But if we don't make the playoffs this next season, then none of those quarterbacks are safe. We're not going to anything less than making the playoffs this season. I really don't want to go backwards with this team. I'm prepared if we do, but I really hope that that's not the case. So let's go ahead and get to the preseason because I want to get to the draft class so I can properly export the correct players. Because last time I tried to do that, it just like I backed out because I was trying to download the file, but I didn't really need to do that because I can just load up the file that I've been loading up for the last couple of rebuilds. But then it just like automatically generated players. So I don't know what Madden's broken logic was about with that. We did win our first preseason game by 14 points against the Jets. So we're off to a pretty solid start. You know, this is going to be the Drake May season. We're going to really see what he can do. There's no holds barred right now. He's better than Geno Smith, and Geno Smith is coming off of another playoff loss where he threw 2 interceptions. Now then again, I don't blame him for those interceptions because I'm controlling him, and those were bad throws that I made. But at the same time, we want to see what Drake May can do. Plugging him in there because we drafted him for a reason. He was our first round pick a few years back, and unfortunately, we've got some injuries already to deal with. Our best left tackle is out for 6 weeks with a quad tear. Charles Cross. That's not good. Well, Jones is out for 1 week with a shoulder strain, but he can afford a week off for basically the rest of preseason. But Cross being out, that kind of hurts a little bit. We have some decent guys that are backups. You know what? We got 2 really young guys in there, so I'm going to let the guy that we drafted and also Leviston, I'm going to give those guys a chance starting out this season. And hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. But I'm going to give those young guys a chance. Maybe they can develop a little bit while they're filling in for Cross. And, you know, injuries can always derail the season, so, you know, you never know. All right, let's upgrade our players before we do cut days. We actually have more players on the roster so we can actually do a cut day. Because last year, we started the season with only 49 players on our team. We didn't even have a 53-man roster because we had to just limit ourselves to who we could even bring in outside of the draft. So, yeah, I'm not going to cut our long snapper, even though long snappers don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So I'm going to put Kenny McIntosh on the practice squad because we have 3 running backs that are active right now. So I think we're pretty set there. We have, can we cut Young? Will result. You may not see an increase. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and cut Young because he really hasn't developed. And at this point, I feel like I can't wait too much longer for him to try to develop. And it'll also give us some room. Brady Russell, I'm just going to cut because he's tried to catch on for all these years, but he just can't cut it. We found better tight ends, and we're just going to cut him. We're not even putting him on practice. So Dwight Bowen is going to start. Leviston is going to back him up. that's what we're going to go with for the first few weeks of the season and just see what these young cats can do. I feel like it's best that we give them a shot to do something, to see what they can do. I don't want to put Sidney Bates on practice because somebody is going to snatch him up. I don't feel like I want to put any of the rookies or the young guys on practice that are in the 60s because I feel like they'll get snatched up and then we'll never be able to use them. All right, defensive. All right, so linebackers. We have a lot of linebackers, obviously. So John Radigan. You know what? Let's come back to that because I don't know if I want to cut Radigan yet because I don't want to lose depth by getting rid of him. So Vaughn, we're going to move him to practice, and Rackstraw Jr., we're going to move him to practice squad. But I think everybody else we're going to keep active. We have 5 corners. We still need to cut 2 guys or put 2 guys on practice. Okay, all right. I feel like we have linebackers, extra linebackers. So you know what? I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to cut John Radigan. Even though he started for us last season, 66. Drake Thomas is rated better than him. It's what have you done for me lately? And, listen, we upgraded our middle linebacker position already, so I feel like that, we don't need to be wasting our time with – we don't need – not like wasting our time, but I don't think we can invest in him anymore. All right. Let's see. I think we're just going to have to do something with the offensive line. We're going to have to put one of these guys either on practice or do something. Unless we don't have any depth for that. What about defensive ends? No. What about D tackles? No, we have 3 of those. I don't want to put anyone. So Coleman, I'm going to risk putting on practice squad. If we lose him, it is what it is. I know we drafted him last year. I still like to see what the young guy can do, but he's really a depth guy. That's what a lot of these rookies are kind of becoming. Because I'm kind of torn between whether I want to really rebuild this team through the draft with young players or if I still want to look at some older veterans to come in and kind of be like instant upgrades, I'm still kind of on the fence between all of that. But right now, that's kind of where my mind's at right now. All right, we did a little bit of an upgrading for our offensive coordinator, Mr. Mac Williams. Kevin O'Connell, maybe he was the difference bringing in last season after Pete Carroll retired, but we'll see. Right now, I have no plans to change the coach because O'Connell led us to the playoffs next year, but if we have back-to-back non-playoff seasons, then things are going to get a little bit dicey, and he may not be completely safe. So we'll see what we want to do with that. All right, so we got done with cut days and practice squad stuff. Let's go ahead and advance to the regular season. I'm expecting somebody to get snatched up from our practice squad by another team, maybe Coleman, but I don't know. Let's see if anybody did get snatched up. All right, well, looks like fortunately nobody got snatched up, so that's good. All right, let's go ahead and import local file. Let's go ahead and get the 2025 class in here. Actually, I messed up and I got the years off, but oh well. All right. I'll bring Bradford there. All right, so here we go. Simulate to the middle of the season. See where this Seahawks team is at. We're on paper better than last season, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee that we'll be back in the playoffs. Because we have a new quarterback taking snaps this year in Drake May. So I want to see what this kid can do. I want to see what he can do. Because we're still a little bit on the fence in terms of this quarterback situation. In my opinion, this job is not settled because both of these guys in May and Geno Smith kind of flip-flop between each other on who's better, who's rated better than the other guys. So, I don't know. But we will see. We'll see. I will say, in the recent rebuilds, the 2025 season has kind of been the money season in terms of when I'm able to lead the team to a Super Bowl victory, but who knows? Some have been longer than the other. So we'll see kind of what progresses with the Seahawks in year 3. All right, week 7. Let's see where we're at. Three and 3. All right, that's kind of what we were looking like the first season, but then we kind of nosedived. So obviously we're starting out worse than last season. We're hovering around 500, kind of like a ship bobbing up and down, not really doing anything. So, and we're going against a Cardinals team this week that is 5 and 2. So they're top of the division. We're trying to fight for the top spot in the division. Of course, we haven't had our starting left tackle for the first 6 weeks of the season, or the first 5 games, I believe. So, I mean, obviously he's probably back by now, so I'm not too concerned about that. Let me check out the negotiating screen and see whose contracts are up this year. Hopefully nobody too big. But we have $183 million to spend. But Kenneth Walker is, oh my gosh, and DK, and Woolen, and Jamal Adams. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, Kenneth Walker, I want you back. Happy to sign. Okay. Oh, that only ate up $11 million? Okay, that's not bad. DK, no question. I want you to stay here. Not considering shorter deals at the moment? Man, he wants the house. Wow. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to risk letting Woolen walk because we still have Witherspoon. We can get another corner to help out. Jamal Adams. Offer is perfect. Okay, I'm surprised that he took that neutral deal. I'm shocked. So we got our strong safety locked in. I'm going to risk letting Woolen walk because, you know, and we drafted these young linemen, and we could look for a cheaper replacement in free agency, Charles Cross. And he's also not really interested in re-signing unless we give him the house. Abraham Lucas actually kind of developed pretty well, but we did draft another right tackle. I think it may be time for that young guy we drafted the first year, Moham, to make his move. I think it's time for him to make his move. But Dixon, our punter. I know, you know, I don't normally spend this money on a punter, but, you know, 80 overall is not that bad for a punter to be spending money on, in my opinion. So we got Dixon back, our punter. CJ Mosley, I think, is a 1-year rental, a good veteran presence. We can look for another middle linebacker, maybe a guy who's younger, and maybe we can bring him back, reconsider it, but I don't really know. Boy Maffey, we could, you know, he's actually he's dipping a little bit. He's only at a 79, so it looks like he's kind of regressing a little bit. And Wise, I think, is a 1-year rental. Chenault, I think, you know, we were only going to keep him around for a couple years anyway. Kobe Bryant, we have, you know, a good starting free safety already. You know, Reed, we drafted a defensive tackle. Geno Smith, we're looking for better quarterback play, so we're going to let you walk at the end of this season. And we can always get another fullback. He's a backup right outside linebacker, so is Drake Thomas. Neal is a backup left guard. Forsythe is a backup right guard, but I may just bring him back for depth. And the rest of these guys, nah. All right, but I definitely want to bring back DK Metcalf. There's no way I'm letting DK Metcalf walk this offseason. I'd be dumb to do that. Hopefully with getting Metcalf is the last, you know, big free agent signing that, you know, the big signing that we need. DK Metcalf is going to be a part of this team one way or another. There's no question about it. We're going to do whatever it takes to keep DK Metcalf here. We're not letting our best receiver just walk away this offseason. There's no way. One way or another. We actually did. Fortunately, Jamal Adams didn't really ask for super duper much, so we're able to keep him for the next 3 years, so that's pretty solid. All right, 5-2 Cardinals this week. Can we get a win? We got to get some, you know, big division wins during the back half of the season. What's good? G, just subbed and liked. All right, thank you. Kobe. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the comments. Mind doing the same? Yeah, I'll take a look at your channel after I get done with the stream, man. Yeah, I'll take a look at your content. Appreciate it. All right, let's upgrade our guys. All right, going into week 9 against the Texans here. Oh boy. Okay, so let's get back to negotiating. All right, DK. We're not letting you out the door. Okay, so we didn't like the neutral offer, so player friendly, 5 years we're going to give this guy. Good offer. Okay, great. Well, we still got $146 million to spend, but like I mentioned, I'm going to let Woolen walk because I think we can get another, because we have Witherspoon still here as an 87 overall corner. I mean, I know it's going to be tough letting one half of our cornerback tandem walk, and Woolen's been solid, but we can always get, hopefully another corner will be available in the offseason to help us out with retaining some of that. So I'll wait for that. We drafted young guys, so Charles Cross, even though he's missed time this season, we're probably going to let him walk. Let's see, who else was I considering maybe bringing back? You know, Jones is starting to regress a little bit. Yeah, I think the rest of the guys at the end I'm just going to bring back for depth. Maybe probably O'Neal and maybe Forsythe just for offensive line depth behind him. And these guys are actually interested in re-signing, so probably won't have to offer them huge contracts to keep them in Seattle. But the rest of the guys, I think I'm just going to have to risk letting them walk because we don't have the funds to pay everybody. We did beat the Cardinals, so that was pretty big. So that was a big divisional win. We're 4-3. We're still second in the NFC West. Cardinals are the team to beat this year. Surprisingly, the 49ers are 2-5. So I don't know if they've had injuries or if they've lost a bunch of good guys. I don't know if Christian McCaffrey retired or something like that, but the 49ers are having a tough year. Unfortunately, we dropped a pretty bad game. But it looks like we got a weekly award winner, so let's see. Gnarlsdean won Defensive Player of the Week with 9 tackles and an interception. Okay, so good game for him. Our backup right outside linebacker. He must have gotten some playing time due to maybe injuries that we had. Media question. Let's see what Coachman has to say. It's been an up and down for season. I think we'll finally get to the playoffs. I'm going with that. Because, I mean, we're still, you know, over 500. Well, we're at 500. We still have a shot. I mean, this team made the playoffs last year, and I don't think we're going to just, you know, lay down at this point. But, hey, I could be wrong. Like I said, it wouldn't be surprising if we went backwards this season. Hopefully we don't go backwards against Detroit. They're a 4-5 team, so they're under 500. But let's see if we can get a win. And, oh, well, we lose by 6. And now we're officially under 500. We're still second in the division, but the 49ers and the Rams have each won games the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, we could easily slip to the third place and last place potentially in the division. So May's getting a little bit better. He's up to a 76. That's good. It's only 1 overall point better than where he started the season, but he's progressing a little bit, so that's good to see. I mean, with the weapons that we have, with Jackson Smith-Njigba and DK Metcalf, hopefully that's giving him a little bit of a confidence boost. We'll see. 6-4 Jacksonville Jaguars are coming to town this week. This is a team that looks really good on paper, so this may be a tough game for us. We may go on a little bit of a tailspin right now, which I really don't want us to be doing, but we squeak out a 3-point win against Jacksonville. Good. Good job, guys. Just so we needed, and now we are back to 500. So, solid. All right, we got the Titans this week, and we got the Panthers, which I guess are getting a little bit better. Okay, well, the Titans aren't that good. They're 4-7. Hopefully we don't have a letdown game against these guys. It looks like they still have Derrick Henry, 94 overall running back. So, hopefully he doesn't run roughshod over us, and I guess he did. We lost by 14 points to the Titans. Oh boy, defense has given up a lot of points the last couple, well, not last week, but that week, 38 points given up is, a little bit concerning if you ask me. And now we're back under 500 at 5-6. But this division is definitely still winnable. We're actually first in our division even with a losing record, so it could be a deal where maybe a low record wins it. Right now we're the 4th seed in the playoffs, and no other team from the NFC West is in the playoff picture. So the way the playoffs are shaping up this year, win the division to get into the playoffs. If we don't win the division, we're probably going to be sitting at home on the couch. So that's the way that the league is shaping up for year 3 of this rebuild in the NFC West. Everybody's kind of around the same record, but then again, it only takes a couple weeks for one team to get above another team, and everything's pretty tight in the division race right now, which means this game against a 7-4 Panthers team, which looks like they're probably in the playoff picture, is a tough matchup for us. And we lost by 7. All right, and we're back to second in our division, and that knocked us out of the playoff picture. So the Rams have overtaken the spot because I think they're number 1 in the division right now. Is that the case? Yes, it is. So right now, yeah, it's shaping up that way. The winner of the NFC West makes the playoffs. Anybody else who finishes second place stays at home. And Witherspoon is out for 8 weeks with a torn bicep. Are you kidding me? So the corner I was looking to build around after I probably am going to let Woolen walk this season is going to be out for probably like, how many games are left? I think he's out for 8 weeks. So he could come back for the playoffs, I guess. But let me see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to put Witherspoon on IR. Out for 8 weeks. Hate doing this. Devin Witherspoon is on IR. So we got to go to free agency, and we're going to have to sign a corner. Wait, did I not put him on IR? Hold on a second. IR, yes. Return, no. Okay, so he's on IR. I don't know why our roster is still saying 53 out of 53. Not sure why. Because the guy on IR, we could bring somebody in to... Because I'm planning on looking at the free agent pool to see who's out there and bringing in some corner help, at least a veteran presence for the long haul, but who knows who's even still out here. Probably nobody. But let's see. Who are the best corners out here on the market? They're still left. James Bradbury is here. So's Marcus Peters. All right, we'll bring in Bradbury for the back half of the season. Going to sign him on a quick 1-year deal. Get some veteran presence in here just to help out while Witherspoon is out for the rest of the season. Probably, I think we're going to have to cut somebody, though. No, we don't. Okay, so that actually is okay. All right, I do want to take a look and make sure that and adjust Bradbury's number because he was wearing like 18 or something. I don't know what he's wearing that. James Bradbury's wearing 12. Okay, well, I'm going to have him change his number a little bit. With bringing down Bradbury, he automatically becomes our second best corner that we have right now. I mean, we got the young guy Nehemiah, but you know, I just feel like he's not, you know, quite ready for, you know, for that yet. Going to give him 25, Richard Sherman's old number. So Bradbury's going to be rocking 25. So Pritchett, Bradbury, and Woolen are the corners we're going to rock out with. But I'm still planning on keeping, but even coming off of an injury, I still feel like it's worth it to keep Witherspoon because we're at least going to have one of our good corners, even though Woolen has gotten up to a 90 this season. It might be a bad idea to let a 90 overall corner walk away, but we got to save some money in certain places in order to, you know, maybe get better. And you know what? Maybe we could possibly bring back Woolen when the regular free agency period hits. We will see. But right now we got to focus on football. And right now we got the 7-5 Cowboys coming to town, and you know, they're probably in the playoff picture for sure. And yeah, this is going to be pretty tough. The Rams are 6-6. So if they slip up just a little bit, we could launch ourselves back to the division lead, but we have to win the division to make the playoffs this year. So we can't afford to drop a bunch of games in a row. But it may be too late. Well, we get a big 3-point win. Unfortunately, the Rams are starting to pull away just slightly. They have an over 500 record. It's 7-6. So we're still barely clinging to the playoff hunt. But we just got to hope that the Rams slip up a little bit. We don't play them for the rest of the season. The only divisional game matchup we have left, well, we have two left. We got the Niners and we got the Cardinals. We're having the game against the 49ers this week. If we don't win this game, it probably is basically going to expect us to win. I mean, this is a 49ers team that's more vulnerable this season, so they're not juggernauts. But if we lose this game, then we're probably mathematically eliminated from the postseason. I hate to say it. But let's get to the negotiating screen, because there were some backup guys that I was looking to retain for this next off season coming up. So let's go ahead and take a look at these guys. All right. All right. So I think we can't even do anything until the next couple of weeks. Okay then. All right. Well, we'll wait on that then. We'll probably give like 1-year deals to those guys, but we'll do it before we play our final game of the regular season against the Buccaneers. Big game against the 49ers this week, and we also got the Cardinals the next week as well. Every game is big. And we lost. Well, guys, we're down to 3rd in our division, so unfortunately, the way that things are looking like they're looking, or we're going backwards. We've gone backwards this season. We're not as good, and we're likely not making the playoffs. So it's unfortunate. We had a big injury to our second corner, and I think it's just cost us. We haven't been able to. We're just not going to make the playoffs this season, unfortunately. And we're going to go into an off season where I think our starting left tackle and our starting right tackle are just going to have to hit the market, because you know what? Maybe Lucas. Can Lucas come back on a 2-year deal? Excited to sign. Okay, all right. Decided, you know what? Let's get at least Lucas back, but Cross, let's just bring back. Let's look at maybe more of the guys that I want to bring back that are actually interested in coming back. Wise is interested, but I feel like I really need to get a real permanent fixture at right defensive end, even a veteran presence there. Okay. O'Neal, we need you back for depth for 1 year. All right, so he's coming back on the cheap, which I expected, so that's good. Okay. And Stone Forsyth. But you know what? I feel like that we have another right guard, so I'm actually not going to do that. Just wanted to bring back some depth, but Drake, we're gonna let you walk, man. All right, let me take another look at some of these, higher guys, because I decided because I had a change of heart. I decided to bring back Lucas. Maybe C.J. Mosley is worth keeping around for maybe 1 more season. All right, so Mosley was able to come back for 1 more year, so that's good. Let's just get some level of consistency, because I think we're going to let Mayfield walk. I really want to kind of replace these guys, even if it's a risk to letting walk, with guys that fit the scheme. Because I feel like that's just better, and I feel like it's just going to make our team a little bit better. It's going to be tough. It may be a terrible decision letting our best corner walk, but it's going to save us some money, so that way we can upgrade, other positions, and maybe we can actually look at finally having enough money to spend on maybe if a really good quarterback is available in free agency this offseason. Because in Drake May's first season, right now it looks like that he hasn't really shown anything that he's going to be very special. I know he's up to like a 76, maybe a 77 overall, but we need to see more than that. I don't know if he's the guy in this rebuild that is going to lead this team to success. It may just be a deal where we got to get an actual veteran quarterback that, maybe has, some good credentials to his name. Because, these big divisional games that we've been losing this season, we need to find a way to get those victories. And we're playing Arizona this week. We're basically automatically eliminated from the playoffs, and now we're starting to lose a lot of games during the back half of the year. So we can't finish with even a winning record this season. So we went from a playoff team, they got bounced in the first round, to not even making the playoffs in year 3. We've gone backwards. So now that we've gone backwards, It means that changes have to be made, which means that some changes are coming this offseason for sure. In terms of quarterbacks and, just changes. Changes in general. I think that's the direction that we're really going for. I will play the final game of the regular season against the Bucks, like I always do, even if my team doesn't make the playoffs. But we got the Colts this week first. Let's see if we can get maybe a win to end the season. And we lost again. I think we lost like four games in a row. Well, we're 6-10 right now. We have one more game left against the Bucks team that's 9-7. So maybe we can knock them out of the playoff picture. But let's see what the playoff picture is currently looking like. See if the Bucks are even fighting for a spot. They got to come to our place. So the 12th man will be behind us. And the Bucks are in the playoffs, but if we beat them, we may knock them out. So we got a chance to at least play spoiler to end the season and get our 7th win. Which for this team, based on how up and down this season has been and how much we just kind of nosedived after we got to like 6-5, I think it'd still be a decent way to end the year. I mean, not a decent way, but it'd still be okay way to end the year, I guess you could say. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for our final game against the Bucks. First things first, let's actually do our color rush. Let's do the color rush uniforms. Let's see. Current alternate classic. Color rush alternate jersey. Current alternate classic. So, current color rush. I have the current color rush on, don't I? Okay, current helmet, 2000s helmet, 90s helmet, current alternate classic. Current alternate classic. Okay, I think that's right. Okay, alright. Well, we're going to wear our, you know what, let's just wear our regular uniforms. Because that's looking kind of wacky. That wasn't what I expect. Alright, we're just going to wear the regular jerseys. All navy for our final game of the season against the Bucks. Maybe a chance to play spoiler, knock them out of the playoffs. I don't know if Baker Mayfield's still their quarterback or not, because I don't know how they did in the first season, so they might have moved on from him, maybe drafted somebody, but I don't know. We're about to find out what the Bucks look like in year 3 of this rebuild. I assume they still have some guys like Levante David and maybe Antoine Winfield Jr. I don't know. They probably still have some decent players on that team, and probably Mike Evans is still a Buck. Alrighty.
Today,
12th man behind us. Let's get a win to wrap up the season. Let's end this season on a positive note. I know that we were all expecting to go to the postseason party this season like last season. But even with a better roster, with a young quarterback in there, Drake May, he's had some growing pains in his first season as a starter and his second season. So, it is what it is. Kenneth Walker, who we just inked to a big contract during the season, is going to be a Seahawk for a few more years. We've got a good, dominant running back right now. So that's pretty big as far as a key weapon on offense that's consistent and is going to be here for this quarterback. It's going to help. We get a nice first down completion to Jackson Smith. Jigba
also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Now on first down, he'll drop the
Jigba again, he's wide open. Break that. Oh, I thought he could break that tackle, but he got dragged down.
Down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pick up there, 26 yards. They'll look to throw here on first down.
Short route, but he made the catch. Good job.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it second down. Up the middle they run. It's Walker.
Walker rolls to another first down. Nice job.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
Set up the screen here with Walker.
They'll drop to throw.
Walker. Oh, my goodness. That screen was not blocked very well, guys. Come on. Got to do better than that.
Here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
The tight end, Troutman. Oh, how do you drop that, man? Come on. Got to make those catches.
Thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt
Come
after
on.
that incompletion. So this is a
I don't care if this is like the last game of the regular season. Do something for the fans. That was a bad throw by me, by May. Now we got to kick a field goal to open the drive.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on fourth down. It's Jason Myers.
Jason Myers is true with the field goal. We didn't get 7, but we got 3. It is what it is. All right. Let's keep our poise up. Let's keep fighting to get this done. All right. Our defense stepped up and got us the ball back. Didn't let it score. Good job.
Comes up on a 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2.
Looking for you over the middle. There we go, buddy. There we go. First down.
The Seahawks are going to have the first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter. We're driving. We're up 3-0, but we're on a drive and we're close to scoring.
Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they go to work on a first and goal. They'll look to throw.
Jigman made the catch, not for much, but it was a good way to... They were stacking that box. A little out route, get us some more yardage than maybe a run play.
Walker will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2.
Really able to make anything happen so far.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Come on, Nate.
Back to throw here.
Over the middle, caught by DK, touchdown, Seahawks. Nice job. Perfect. Good job, Drake. Bucks are on the board finally. We got a 3rd down and 2 here. I want to keep this drive alive. Let's actually go to quick base, maybe a risk, but I'm going to run it. Walker gets up the gut and gets a first. Nice job,
inside the 20, down to the 17.
Slant routes. Almost down to the 2-minute warning here, but we got a good drive going. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. I may still sneeze.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
The weather changes down here have been unbelievable. That's why my nose and my allergy are messing around. So DK didn't get into the end zone. He got down to the 1-yard line. Let's punch this in with Walker. Punch it in. Come on. Get a 10-point lead. Walker. Dive in. Touchdown, Seahawks. There we go. Nice job.
Seahawks. Kenneth Walker.
Bucks are climbing back into this thing. They're only down by 3. But we got the ball. 3rd quarter. It's a 2nd down and 3 here.
2nd and 3.
DK, nice catch. First down, DK.
And the Seahawks are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Now, trading Tyler Lockett, might have been a little bit risky looking back on it, but the fact that we got DK and we got Jackson and Jigba developing very well, I think this trade was worth it. And it freed up some cap space for us to have for really even the future. Because I was thinking about the future of this team as well. I didn't want this team to be in salary cap hell for like 2 off seasons in a row. That would be kind of disastrous. Kenneth Walker in the end zone, 2nd touchdown of the game. Let's go.
Ken Walker.
Bucks are fighting for their playoff lives right here. I gotta imagine.
This defense
we're in the 4th quarter.
In a tight game in the 4th
you know what, Walker? You've been big all game. It's going to you. Spin. First down, Walker. Let's go. Almost at 100 yards. And 16 more yards to go to 100. I'm just playing keep away a little bit here. 2nd and 4. Gonna get a little bit fancy here with a jet sweep with Metcalf. It's normally what we would run with Lockett. But DK gets about 3 yards. Big 3rd down right here. It's a big 3rd down for the Bucks. It's a big 3rd down for us too. We get this, we can kind of start to put this one on ice. Get up through there. Pick the right hole, first down. Nice job. He's over one, and he's up to 100 yards. 100-yard day for Walker. Nice game.
On the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Oh, we almost threw a pick
It's
with May.
nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
And a chokehold.
Looking to throw.
Tight end Troutman. Open over the middle. Gets down to the 1.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
We're not going to mess around. We're going to try to punch this thing in.
They'll try and run. Walker.
Up the middle, touchdown. 3rd touchdown of the game to Walker. All right, I think this one may be on ice. No, Bucks scored quickly again. All right, so we're going to go with the onside kick here. Let's get this recovery and put this one to bed.
Going for the onside kick.
Good recovery by Chenault. Now all we got to do is run the clock out, and we're going to get out of here with a win. It's close. The Bucks came back and played better in the second half, but we just got to keep our hands on the football, and we'll get out of here with the win to end the season and get to 7 wins. Definitely falling below expectations for this season, considering we were a playoff team last year. But we still have some things to upgrade. We have a lot of positions that we've been looked at, and, you know, maybe even quarterback. We got to look at the quarterback. I'm going to look at the quarterback free agency pool this offseason and just see if there's somebody out there. I think it's worth looking at. Last season, you know, Jared Goff was available, but it was going to cost us so much money to keep him. That's why kind of taking a risk, not bringing back guys like Woolen and some other offensive linemen. You know, just so we have some cap room to be able to spend money on potentially a good free agent quarterback. So we'll see.
Right back to Walker.
But the good thing is that Kenneth Walker is here to stay for the rest of this rebuild for sure, and he's up to a 94. So he, like he's been in this game, a real difference maker for our offense. Huge. When you have a good running back in Madden, quarterback play doesn't have to be spectacular, but I feel like in the playoffs, that's what it's going to take us to advance because because our quarterback play, you know, even from Geno Smith in the playoffs, was mid. I mean, those 2 interceptions, like I said, repeatedly, were my fault because I threw them and I made bad decisions. But a guy in the 70s, that's the best. That's the ceiling. You know, that's the best he's going to be able to do. If you have a guy in the high 80s or even a 90s guy, those throws are better. You know, they don't throw behind. You know, and all that. So it comes down to ratings sometimes in these rebuilds. You got to get the players that have good ratings in order to sometimes win a championship. And I know I've won championships in this Madden with, you know, in rebuilds with inferior rosters, but I don't know if we'll be able to do it with the Seattle one. Thought maybe if we got past the first round of the Rams, maybe last year, but it didn't happen. But we're going to end 2025 the right way by possibly knocking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers out of the playoffs, getting our 7th win of the season. Drake May did play pretty well in this game, but we also had a dominant game on the ground from Kenneth Walker. So that was big for us in getting this win. You know, defensively, we did let up a little bit in the end, I noticed. But I'm not going to hold against our defense too much because we'll be looking to do some upgrading this offseason in certain ways that we can. Although those plans will not include our top corner, more than likely in Woolen, so we can save some money this offseason and possibly look at maybe a big-name quarterback. Whether it's in free agency or a trade, this may be an offseason where I finally make a big trade because I haven't done that with a quarterback in a couple of rebuilds. So that may be a direction that I'm trending towards. Maybe a young guy who's rated better than Drake May, who's not getting a lot of playing time we could look at. But I don't know. But we'll get through all that once we get done with the 2025 season completely. But we are going to finish the season 7-10. Obviously, we wanted to do better than that, but we're going to be sitting at home. But let me see if what we did cost the Bucks a playoff spot. Well, it didn't, but it dropped them to the 7th seed. So it did adjust the playoffs a little bit, but it only dropped them to the 7th seed. It did knock them out of the playoffs, so they barely made it. They probably made it because they had other help from other people. All right, so playoffs for 2025, Giants, Bucks, Packers, 49ers, Rams, Falcons, Panthers have the #1 seed. Bryce Young's probably blossoming into a good quarterback by this point, if I'd have to guess. Ravens have the #1 seed. Raiders, Broncos, Dolphins, Patriots, Jaguars, Bengals, and no Chiefs. Chiefs didn't make the playoffs in year 3, so I'm a little bit surprised about that. I'm surprised they didn't make it. And neither did the Bills. Wow, okay, so that's a little bit surprising. I did not expect that to happen in year 3. But, maybe some of those guys are, being let go. Just kind of like the Bills in real life. Like, for real, outside of the Cowboys offseason being pretty bad, the Bills have not had a very good offseason either. I mean, they traded away Stephon Diggs to the Texans. They've let go of a lot of good players, some veteran players that really helped build that Buffalo team into what it is. I guess they're just thinking, well, you know what? It's Josh Allen or bust. But who knows? The division in the AFC East in real life next year, maybe the Miami Dolphins for the taking. I don't know. It wouldn't be surprising because the Dolphins are going to get back all those players that they had injured last season, like Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. And Mike McDaniel's an offensive guru. So the Dolphins may be on the rise for 2024 next year in real life. Sorry to get on a tangent here, but I do that sometimes with real NFL football when it comes to these Madden games. Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and take a look at how Wildcard Weekend shaped out. Let's see what happened. The Raiders beat the Broncos, the Dolphins beat the Patriots, and the Bengals were the only team to pull an upset this week. They beat the Jaguars on the road. Dolphins beat the Bucks, Packers beat the 49ers, and the Falcons beat the Rams. But you know what? I'm not surprised at that because the NFC West was pretty weak this year. All the teams were around 6 and 7, and somebody was still leading the division. So NFC West, soft this year. But then again, it kind of stinks because this could have been a year that we could have easily taken the division, but probably would have met a similar fate to the Rams against a team like the Falcons, who were probably just better than us. So it's Panthers against the Falcons, Giants against the Packers, Ravens, Bengals, Raiders, Dolphins. Excuse me. Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and get to Conference Championship Weekend, and let's see who makes the Final Four this year. Alrighty. Let's take a look. Bengals beat the Ravens. They beat the #1 seeded Ravens. Joe Burrow beats Lamar Jackson. And the Raiders beat the Dolphins. So it's Raiders, Bengals in the AFC Championship, and it's the Packers and the Falcons after the Falcons pulled an upset against the Panthers, and so did the Packers, blowing out the Giants on the road. Wow. So a 3rd seed and a 5th seed against a 2 seed and a 5th seed. So playoff shaping up pretty interesting this year. I don't know what kind of Super Bowl matchup we're going to get, but we're about to find out. And it's going to be the Falcons and the Bengals in the Super Bowl this year. That is a very interesting matchup. Falcons must have gotten some good talent to help, them this season. Let's take a look and see if we had any Pro Bowlers. Kenneth Walker still didn't make the Pro Bowl. He's up to a 96 overall. I don't know what they're thinking over there with the ratings of this, but it is what it is. What about receivers? DK Metcalf didn't make it? What about an offensive lineman? So Cosme made it. Okay, our biggest free agent acquisition, 88 overall right guard. He made the Pro Bowl. Who else made it if we had anybody? Looks like nobody else made it. Nope. See anybody? No Jamal Adams. Oh, Michael Dixon made it. All right. So our punter and our right guard made the Pro Bowl this year. Not a lot of representation from the Seattle Seahawks, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. Next up, going to the Super Bowl. Let's see. We're going through Pro Bowl week, so let's see who wins the yearly awards before we see who takes home the Lombardi between the Falcons and the Bengals. Okay, then. All right, the yearly awards. Let's see what happened. All right, the MVP was Justin Herbert. Coach of the Year, Zach Taylor of the Bengals. Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp. No Seahawks in here. Defensive Player of the Year. No Seahawks here either. Offensive Rookie of the Year. No Seahawks there. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody. Best QB. Drake May not even in there. Kenneth Walker finished 8th for best running back. Okay, best wide receiver. DK finished 8th, so he dipped a little bit this year. Best offensive lineman. So Kelsey made the Pro Bowl, but he didn't make the top 10 for best offensive lineman in the NFC? All right. Best defensive lineman, nobody. Best linebacker. Oh, Matthew made it. 9th place, I think. Yeah, 9th place. Best DB. No Seahawks. Best kicker. No Myers. Yeah, nobody. Nobody was really even in the top 5 for any player of the year rankings in any position. All right, then. Well, we had a down year. Hey, you know, we went from a playoff team to a non-playoff team. We actually, as a matter of fact, I just looked at the standings. We went from a playoff team to the bottom of the NFC West at 7-10. Look at that. Bottom of the division in 1 year. And this division race is pretty tight. But I'm going to give Kevin O'Connell this next season. But if we have another bad year where even if I consider us getting some good upgrades this offseason, if we get good upgrades this offseason through free agency and Kevin O'Connell can't lead us to the playoffs, we're going to change coaches. This may be a little bit of a longer rebuild. So, you know, y'all watching the stream, I appreciate it. Get your popcorn ready and dig in for a little bit of a long haul because we may be here because this may be a few more videos. So we'll see. Alrighty then. So it looks like that the Falcons scored 63 points. Wow. Desmond Ridder is the next great quarterback in NFL history. He was the MVP, and the Falcons have won their first Super Bowl championship. They blew out the Bengals. Man, Joe Burrow and them didn't even put up a fight. 63-21. All right, the MVP was Justin Herbert. Zach Taylor won Coach of the Year. Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Defensive Player of the Year, Max Crosby. Danny Fowler, quarterback of the Cardinals, won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Rayshon Jenkins won Defensive Rookie of the Year, a corner from the Vikings. All righty then. Interesting way to end the year. The Falcons score 63 points in the Super Bowl. That's got to be a record. I don't think a team has scored 63 points in Super Bowl history. I think the most scored in the Super Bowl was, well, my Dallas Cowboys in 92 scored 52. And I don't think anybody scored more than that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but who knows. All right, well, let's view retirements. Let's see if we had any Seahawks retire. CJ, man, and we just gave him a new contract. So C.J. Mosley was our only retirement, and I was hoping to bring him back for one more year, and he retires after 12 seasons. Well, middle linebacker just became a priority this offseason, and hopefully that'll save us some money, more money to spend in the offseason. But I'm a little bit disappointed that C.J. Mosley decided to retire. So because Mosley retired, let's go back, and I might need to actually look at bringing back Mayfie. So you know what? Boyle Mayfie, 80 overall. I don't want to risk losing you because we lost him. So because we lost our middle linebacker, so we're bringing back Mayfie. Okay, because we need some linebacker help because we just need it. But everybody else, y'all can leave. There's the door. Woolen letting walk is risky. We're letting our best corner walk away. And we're not even giving him a contract offer. And look, maybe when we get to free agency, when we look at who else is available, and if there's nobody else very good, maybe we can bring back Woolen for a deal that's not as expensive. But we will see. But our defense and overall has dipped a little bit. Our offense is still pretty good, so let's take a look at our roster. And let's see what positions we really need to upgrade. I'm not really going to look too much at quarterback because if there's a good quarterback out there, we're going to probably see if we can do anything. So we let Geno walk. So even if we don't find a good quarterback in free agency, we at least need to find a backup quarterback because I don't feel confident having a 59 overall Timmy Knox backing up Drake May right now. So that's not a good feeling. Kenny McIntosh. We're going to, you know what, we'll change his number when we get to signing players and all that. All right, we need a fullback. We don't have one again. We only have 3 receivers, so we're going to have to do some we're going to have to I want to bring in at least maybe a couple of receivers in free agency. Tight end is looking good, but there's a guy in the 80s I might swing for him. Left tackle, left guard is still looking okay. Center is looking okay. We could be better. 90, 81. But if we see any good left tackles or left guards that are in the 80s, maybe. But if we don't, then we'll just keep it where it is. But left end, we need to get some help there. And right end as well. We need to replace both of those guys. And we drafted Daniel Strong for a reason, but if there's another stopgap guy in the 80s at defensive tackle, I think we need to bring him in. Mayfie, we have no middle linebackers on the roster, so we absolutely have to get a middle linebacker. You know, and Nwosu actually has dipped a little bit to a 77, so that's kind of discouraging if you ask me. But Witherspoon is becoming our top corner. Pritchett, you know, he looks like he made some strides this season. DJ Ivey is a guy that's kind of been buried on the bench for a little bit. So he's kind of coming up a little bit in terms of just getting better. Hatcher and Harris. We need a backup strong safety. Kicker and punter are still good. All right, so let's get to work. But I'm probably going to aim for middle linebackers first because that's a position that we don't have anybody. We don't have any middle linebackers on the team. So we need to find somebody there. But let's see if this free agency period is pretty good. Oh, man, we got Travis Etienne out here. Holy crap. 93 overall running back. That's pretty tempting. Whoever gets him is going to be... All right, we have $113 million to spend. How much of this is going to eat up the cap? So much. So much it ain't even funny. Oh, gosh. But you know what? We're going to do it. I'm plunging for Brock Purdy. We need to get a quarterback in here. A real one, not a fake one. Jermaine Pratt, he's actually kind of interested in coming here. So maybe we don't need to offer him too much. But let's see what this neutral deal puts us. Does it put us in contention? Well, we're behind the Titans, but maybe he'll consider us more. But I don't know. If we can't get him, maybe we'll put in an offer for Holcomb as a replacement. Let's see about offensive line, left tackle. Stanley, we got Zach Tom, left tackle, 83 overall. That's pretty tempting. So let's make him an offer. We're his only offer, actually. So you know what? Let's lower this a little bit. We're his only offer at 83 overall. I'm a bit surprised. All right. So maybe that'll help out a little bit. Joel Bitonio. I'm kind of going a little bit all in here, but you know what? We have more. This is the most amount of cap space that we've had during the offseason, so we're going to do it if we can. But that doesn't really put us too high on his list, so not too excited about that. John Franklin Myers, defensive ends. There's some decent guys out here, but Kenny Clark is a guy we'd have to offer a ton of money to come here. Defensive ends aren't really looking too promising. We may have to go that route in the draft. Grover Stewart. BJ Hill, I think, may be a decent stopgap guy. Is anybody else offering him anything right now? No, we're his only offer. Okay, so if that's the case, then we're going to lower this. We're going to go with a team-friendly deal for 1 year. Do that. All right. Well, that's the most negotiation that we can do for this first period. So we're going kind of all in to start out. We're going in on Brock Purdy, although we're 4th on the list in terms of teams that he's interested in. We're doing the same thing with Bitonio. We're 2nd behind the Raiders. Zach Tom, we're probably going to be able to get. Pratt, we're third on his list, and B.J. Hill we're probably going to be able to get as well. So this is the first set of guys that we're going in on. If we can't get Purdy, we might just be looking at making a trade. So let's advance to this first wave of free agency and see what happens. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Purdy. If we can't, then we're just going to have to try something else, but we will see. This free agency period may get a little bit crazy. The most active we are, we're probably going to be active during like all stages. So let's see. Looks like we didn't get Brock Purdy. We've only signed B.J. Hill, and Zach Tom is still considering. So let's see. Brock Purdy ended up going to the Raiders. One's going to the Jets. Antonio went to the Texans. Oh boy. All right. Well, we whiffed, but we have $94 million still to work with. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Outside of Brock Purdy, there was another decent. The next best guy was a 75. Kenny Pickett. No, sir. No, sir. Okay. That's not going to cut it. So who do we even get it signed? My signings. Who do we get to sign? It was defensive tackle, right? Okay, so we got B.J. Hill, and we're still looking at Zach Tom. The Bears are interested in him too, but our offer looks like it's a little bit better. So hopefully we're able to get him and get some left tackle help. But we probably also need, well, we don't need right tackle help, but we wanted left guard help as well. Who was the guy? Okay, we targeted Antonio, but we can't get him. Let's go with Kendrick Green instead. Is anybody else going to offer him? If not, we may lower this deal just to help ourselves out a little bit. Okay, well, let's lower it just a little bit because right now the only offer is from, it looks like the Giants. They're offering far less, like way far less. So let's see if this actually still puts us in the hunt. Okay, we're still in pretty good shape with Green. All right. And Pratt was another guy we targeted, but he's going to the Titans. Okay, so let's go with Cole Holcomb. Need a good middle linebacker in here. And this guy's younger too, so hopefully that helps out just a little bit. We're behind the Saints, but I'm going to stay pat. I'm not going to offer too much more. I know we're in a bidding war and everything like that, but, just feel like that, it's not worth it. Andrew Van Ginkel is available. I do like Nwosu still, but, it's tempting for sure. Did we target a defensive end? No, we actually didn't. Okay, and we do need left defensive end help. Okay, so who's the next best guy? All right, let's go with John Franklin Myers. Let's bring him in here. So we need some defensive end help for sure. All right, Williams only offer, so let's go ahead and lower this offer. Let's lower this offer so we can get him on get a little cheaper deal, but still get him at the same time. He'll probably consider our offer for a couple weeks, but yeah. All right, so B.J. Hill, our defensive tackle position, has been a little bit solidified. We do need another corner because we lost Woolen to the Jets. Jalen Watson. Just to help with corners, let's get Watson in here on a 2-year deal. All right, so where does that put us with Watson? We're above the 49ers, so we're going to keep where we're at. We're going to stay at a neutral deal to ensure that we're able to land him. Okay. Receivers. Bring in John Mechie III. Get some receiver help in here because I'm actually going to look at bringing in another receiver. A guy that's a little bit lower tier, but is still decent. All right, so Mechie were his only offer, so we're going to lower this. Going to go with a team-friendly deal. We're going to go with that and get him. All right, where does it put with Michi? He used to play for the Texans, if I recall. Okay, so we're good. And these lower-rated guys. Danny Gray. Solid 75 receiver. Go with a team-friendly deal, one-year deal. Probably nobody else really offering him much of anything, I'd have to imagine. So those are the two receivers that we've targeted. Okay, so we have a 77 and a 75. So we've got some decent receivers that we're targeting to get some depth because we've lost a bunch of our younger receivers, and we need to get some solid guys in here, help out with that. Okay, all right. Let's just take a look at tight ends and see if there's anybody better. No, there's really nobody better. We could bring back Will Dissly, but we're not going to do that. Hopefully Tom signs. I think that's really it. All right, so we're being pretty active in here. We're 7 out of 10. So we're still targeting Tom. We're targeting Holcomb now because we missed out on the Pratt sweepstakes. We're going to go after Jalen Watson and John Michi, John Franklin Myers, Danny Gray, and Kendrick Green. We're at the top of all of these guys' list. Hopefully Holcomb doesn't change his mind and we're able to get him. We still have, $69.3 million to work with. So we're going to go ahead and go probably with these free agents that we have targeted, and then we'll look at possibly trading for a good quarterback. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. We'll see what we can do. Let's go to free agent pool and let's take a look if we got anybody. A little bit bummed I missed out on Brock Purdy. He could have changed the whole franchise around. All right, so let's take a look. We got Holcomb. Yes, we got our new starting middle linebacker. B.J. Hill we already got. We got Jalen Watson, Myers, Gray, and Green. So who is still okay? The Broncos jumped on top of us, and the 49ers gave a better offer to Michi. Okay, so I'm willing to let Michi go to the 49ers and not dump more into him. But Tom, I don't think I'm going to let go of as easily. So we're going to bump this offer up just a little bit. See if this puts us above the 49ers. Does it help? It does. Okay, so it puts us above the Broncos. I said the 49ers earlier, but I meant the Broncos. I'm okay with losing Michi possibly to the 49ers. Unless he has a change of heart and decides that he does want to come here. Negotiations are pretty unlimited right now. So let's look at, backup quarterbacks at this point. Let's see here. Geno Smith's going to be a backup in Tampa Bay. And none of these guys even fit our scheme. Gosh, these quarterbacks are awful. All right. So I think that's going to be it for free agency. I'm going to just hope and pray that we got those guys. Let me take a look at our roster currently right now based on the moves that we were able to make. And let's take a look and see if there's any holes that I forgot about that we got to try to fill while we still have free agency available. Yeah, running backs were good. We do need... Oh, yeah, fullback. We need a fullback. Danny Gray, our new third receiver. Sean Leslie. We're definitely looking at probably drafting a receiver as well to get some help there. Could use a third string tight end. We can always draft one. Hopefully Tom signs. That will solidify that. Kendrick Green is really not much of an upgrade other than Bradford, but, and I forgot that we did bring that back. But, we're also bringing back, some guys for depth to help out there. John Franklin Myers, 77 overall. He's a scheme fit guy, so maybe that'll help out a little bit. Oh, yeah, we do need a right end. We do need a right defensive end. We do need help there. Daniel Strong, B.J. Hill, solid. Maybe he'll get up to the 80s during the season, but I don't really know. Could use another middle linebacker, but we're probably going to get that in the draft. And Jalen Watson becomes our second best corner behind Witherspoon, so solid. We got the young guy. Safety's good. We do need a backup strong safety. So you know what? Let's get some backup players right now. Let's get some backup. Let's get a backup strong safety. Maybe a guy who's solid. In case we just gotta say, you know what, Jamal Adams, you're eating up too much cap space. Gotta go. Or maybe he retires. You never know. Players do retire sometimes early in this game. You never know. All right, let's Let's go ahead and sign Taylor Rapp to be our backup strong safety. Get some depth behind Adams. Are we his only offer? We are. Okay, so if we're your only offer, then we're going to give you a lower deal. 1-year deal. Kind of trying to spill out the roster a little bit here, you know? Okay. We do need help at right end. The current guy that we have is a 70. Zach Allen. Right end. It's about a 2-year deal for this guy. Okay. 49ers are kind of neck and neck with us, though, so. Alrighty. Let's see maybe a backup middle linebacker for Holcomb. Nick Neiman. Let's bring him in as a backup middle linebacker. Yeah, okay. All right, I think that's going to do it. So let's take a look. Hopefully we land all the rest of these guys. Tom targeting Zach Allen now. 49ers are actually above us a little bit. If we don't get him, that's not the end of the world. And we have Mechie, who we're still targeting, but I think the 49ers are going to get him instead of us. That's fine. We targeted Taylor Rapp, and we also targeted Nick Neiman, really to get some backup players. So hopefully we get Allen, because we need right end help big time. All right. Let's advance, and let's see. All right. Did we get everybody else who we were targeting? All right, let's see here. We got Tom. Got Holcomb. We got Rapp. We didn't get the rest of those guys, but we did get Neiman. All right, well, we didn't get Allen, so we got defensive end. I think may just be a position, right end at least, will just probably have to be a position we're going to have to look at in the draft. All right, let's go ahead and advance for the private workouts. All right, let's go to our roster and take a look once again how we're looking based off of free agency. Because I just want to get a good lay of the roster, see what we have to do. Now, we're not done yet. I'm going to do... I forgot to get a fullback, but we can always just get one before the season. All right, so Danny Gray. We do need some depth at tight end. But okay, so Zach Tom becomes automatically our best. 85 overall left tackle. That's pretty solid. Good replacement for Cross. Even a little bit better, actually. Bradford's still here. We have Green kind of backing him up just in case. We can always kick, Green over to another side of the offensive line anyway. So offensive line depth I'm kind of liking right now. This is our best offensive line. It's looked in all throughout the rebuild, if you ask me. Franklin Myers, but we need defense. Our defensive ends still need help this offseason. We're not done upgrading those yet. And maybe we can look at a trade to maybe upgrade those, but I don't know if I want to take that plunge, Jalen Watson. Okay, cool. All right. And we got Taylor Rapp to be a backup strong safety because we needed somebody behind Jamal Adams. So, good job. All right. Okay, so we weren't able to get the top free agent quarterback on the market in Brock Purdy. He wasn't going to come here. So now what do we do? Well, let's make a trade. Let's take a look. We have $70.1 million in cap room. So we got money to spend. We got money. We're not in cap hell like some of these other teams might be. So that's good. All right. So what quarterback can we possibly even get at this point? So Justin Fields is no longer a Bear. And I kind of want to also get... So Justin Fields is now a Bronco. I guess Russell Wilson must have retired or something. Watson's down to a 73. That's not good. Okay, the Bucs quarterback room is a disaster. And then again, some good quarterbacks might have retired by this point, heading into year 4. So, tough sledding here. Jalen Hurts is a scheme fit guy. '49ers brought back Trey Lance. Okay. Very interesting. Jets are looking... Ugh. So the Lions. Panthers have Jared Goff. That's probably why they were so good this past season. The Raiders are going to be even better this year with Purdy as their new quarterback. Wow. Well, trading for a quarterback might not be in the cards. Let me check out the Patriots. Maybe again, Mac Jones is still there. Well, he is, but he's down to a 74. Jeez. There's really no good quarterbacks to trade for. Finding an elite guy is going to be tough. See about making a trade for Justin Herbert. We have the 8th overall pick. Will they just take a first-round pick in this year's draft straight up? Declined, of course. All right. What else do they need in terms of players? Corner. Maybe we just trade our best corner. Going to be risky, but will this do it? Our best corner, Witherspoon, and the 8th overall pick for Justin Herbert. Still declined. Okay, so they want more than even that. They also need a right guard. Well, I know we have a right guard who is pretty good. 88 right guard. About right tackle, maybe. We can give him Lucas. Can we give him Lucas? Still declined. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's abandon Justin Herbert and no. Let's abandon the trade for Justin Herbert. Let's do somebody else. Chiefs. All right. Add player pick. Okay. And so I can see the overalls. No. Quarterback. I don't want to trade for Dak again. I mean, we probably could, but we did it with the Jets, so I don't think I want to do that. Hurts is actually graded better than Herbert, so I don't think that would necessarily really work. Whew. Oh, man. Let's try Jalen Hurts. Okay, so what do they need? They need a right tackle, so we'll give them Lucas. Well, you know what? Let's take that off the board first. Picks. We're going to give you guys the 8th overall pick. First off, let's start out with just the pick. See if this does it. Okay, decline, obviously. Okay, so they need a right tackle. Let's just give them our starting right tackle then. And Abraham Lucas. Over the salary cap. Okay. Oh, well, they're in cap hell. Ugh. Manual trade again. Okay. Maybe I just need to draft another quarterback. Let's see. What about the Bills? You trade for the cover athlete, Josh Allen. Cap room. Okay. What about our first round pick? Okay, decline, of course. All right. Let's start adding players. They need a defensive end. Well, that's a position that we're trying to actually upgrade, so. But, got some linebackers here. They're not going to be swooning over Nwosu, so. I know we just signed Tom, but. I'm willing to give up Lucas. Alright, still declined. Okay, so maybe we could do our best cornerback as well. Still declined. Alright, guys. Well, I think we're just going to have to go QB once again in the draft. Once again, we're probably going QB in the first round. I think, in this draft, even though it's a year off, Drew Allar is the top guy. But I don't know if he's going to be... Well, he's going to be taken probably first overall by Chicago. So I'm not too... And we're projected to take Deshaun McCullough. I don't know who the next quarterback is projected to be off the board, but whoever it is, we may just have to take him. Well, try to make a trade to get some help, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're just going to have to go the route of, once again, drafting another quarterback and see if, this guy can help out. Maybe a little bit more, or just at least challenge Drake May for the job. That's what we're going to go with. I think that's what we're stuck with. We just have to get enough of the pieces around the quarterback in order to just make the team better. So let's start drafting.
It's the Bears now.
8th overall pick. Let's go. Maybe we can make trades after the draft. We'll see. So Cade Klubnik is the top quarterback that is available. And you know what? We're snagging him. We're bringing him competition for Drake May. Maybe he'll be better than Drake May, but I don't know. We'll see. Have to wait and see about that. But we need quarterback. We need to find the real quarterback for this team. Okay, but we do need some defensive end help for sure. So I think the next pick will go that route. If anybody is even any good. We do need, Emory Jones is available. Jihad Campbell out of Alabama. We need right end help. Let's go with him. Our second round pick.
Next up, it's the Seahawks on the clock.
Possibly our new starter, Campbell, at right end. Okay. We do need some more defensive tackle help. We could get somebody young in here. So you know what? Let's go with Danny. Is that Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State? What a name. What a name, sir. We're going to go with him as our third round pick.
Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock.
All righty. Could use some more receiver help. So let's go with Tirada McMillan out of Arizona. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but we're going to go with him. Speedy receiver. Let's go.
On the clock now, the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, well, we do need cornerback help, so we're going to go with an old favorite, Max Duval out of Houston. I'm getting him.
The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock.
All right, 6th round pick. Let's go with Vance Jackson out of Washington State, a free safety. Get some more help behind Diggs.
Next up, it's the Seahawks on the clock.
All right, 7th round pick, last pick of the draft for us. We need a fullback, so we're going to go take the best fullback available. Will Hillman, potentially undrafted. Let's go with him. Not a big fan of having to draft fullbacks. You can always get one, but we're going to go ahead and go with him. All righty. Not a draft that really is eye-popping by any stretch, but Cade Klubnik, new quarterback. That's what we're going with. Let's go ahead and view our roster now. I think Cade wore number 6, but that's worn, of course, by Diggs, so he's wearing 13 right now. Now, Klubnik is rated lower than Drake May, who's a 76, but I guess we're just going to have to rock with those two guys because we can't make a trade for a new quarterback. So I think this McMillan guy is a real receiver. Terrio McMillan, Arizona. Where's number 4? Well, Dickerson wears number 4, so let's go ahead and give him like something in the 80s or something. You could wear a single digit, but let's go with something in the 80 range. Let's go ahead and rock him. Give him 84 to wear for his rookie season. Didn't grab a tight end. So Jihad Campbell was our 2nd round pick. He wears, I think, looks like number 30. Okay. Maybe we can give him that number. Out of Alabama. All right, we can. 30 is available. Let's give him his college number. That's our new starting defensive end. 74 starting out. Hopefully he can get a little bit better year by year, but we'll see. We did draft Danny Dennis Sutton out of Penn State to give us some more defensive tackle help, but I don't know how good this is really going to help us out, but we'll see. He wears number 33. That's Jamal Adams' number. Let's just keep him wearing number 92. At least we're starting to get some depth at positions now, so that makes me feel a little bit better going into this season, but Max Duval out of Houston. I think Vince Jackson is a real player. Washington State. Yeah, okay, he's not real then, but still. Solid free safety. Strong safety were pretty good. All right. I wish I could have done something about the quarterback situation this offseason just to really give us a big boost going into year 4, but just not going to happen. Not happening. All right. We're 80s across the board, so that's a little bit better. All right, well, pretty tough year 3. Went from being a playoff team to a non-playoff team, but we did draft another rookie quarterback. Maybe Cade Klubnik is the answer instead of Drake May, but we will see. Drake May, going into his second full season as a starter, is what I'm probably going to do. I mean, I could make a big trade for another quarterback, but you know what? I'm not going to end this just yet. I really want to try to make a big trade. I really want to pull off a trade for a new QB. I really am kind of getting a little antsy right now. I just want to get this team better. I really want this team to get better now. So Drew Allar, well, it's 74 overall. We're not doing that. I really want a scheme fit quarterback that is pretty good. Gosh, I really wanted to try to see if I could get Herbert. Going up a stream with a paddle going the wrong way. Man, just nobody good out here that can really help. Let's try this Josh Allen thing again. Still declined, of course. All right, let's see about maybe defensive ends now. After the draft. No, I'm doing that. They need a receiver. We got receivers. But guys that I really don't want to get rid of. See about that right tackle again. Lucas. Nope, still declined. Okay, I think this is a package that I want for a quarterback. But who that quarterback is, I don't know. I think this is the package that I'm just willing to give up. This is what I'm willing to basically give up for a QB. Try 2. Nope, still declined. You know what? It's just not worth it, guys. It ain't gonna work. But, franchise quarterbacks are hard to come by, this rebuild. I think it's just gonna have to be a deal where we're just gonna have to trust that, eventually one of these young quarterbacks is gonna lead us to the promised land. Well, thank y'all for checking out the live stream, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.